Hello, hello, and welcome to our show, Conversations with Lady T, where we bring guests on our show to talk about issues and topics that matter. Get your China teacup and enjoy the show. Welcome to Tea Talk, Real Talk Conversations over Tea. Today we have a special situation where we're actually out of the school for the Girls Academy in Newark, and we were doing a social etiquette and dining skill workshop. So I wanted you guys to learn a little bit about the school. So we have today Nicole Johnson, who's a social worker for the school. So Nicole, tell us a little bit about your school and what are some of the things that you do with the young ladies?
Okay, so Girls Academy of Newark is the first public all-girls school in the city of Newark and the first in over 40 years in the state of New Jersey.
Wow.
So this is our first time here in this building here located at 66 Muhammad Ali Avenue. That's Louise A. Spencer School. Our pillars were based on 5 pillars. It's reach, it's resilience, equality, ambition, curiosity, and honor. That's what we try to instill in our girls every day. Just positive affirmations, our hopes, our dreams for our young girls. So we started in September, and we service girls all over Newark.
Oh, wow.
So they just don't come from one area. So each classroom we have the basics subjects. We have language arts, math, science, social studies. We have art. We have music class. In our foreign language, our principal was very, very enthusiastic about bringing Latin
Oh, nice.
because Latin, most of the words in the English language are derived from Latin
Right.
words. And when our girls take the SATs, we want them to be able to compete and break the
Right.
words apart. So if they know the words now, when they take the SAT in about 5 years, they'll be
Wow.
able to break the words apart and able to fly through that
Right.
part of
That
the
makes
test.
a lot of sense. So is that the only language?
That's
Just
the only language
Wow.
we offer.
But
is
that's
Latin.
a good way, that's an excellent reason
Right.
to bring that in.
Exactly. Made so many collaborations with different organizations here in Newark and outside of Newark. One thing we've always wanted to do with our girls is to have them be critical thinkers,
Right.
have them have a voice, and when you speak, to speak with substance. Just
Right.
don't talk
Exactly.
to talk.
Right.
I deal with the social piece. I
Right.
also have a town hall meeting. Ms. White
Oh,
was
great.
very instrumental of wanting a town hall where the girls can come and talk. So I go through
Right.
public speaking
Okay.
techniques and etiquette,
Right.
how to public speak.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about different themes or things that might be going on in the school that
Right.
we need to address
Exactly.
in a public place with the
Right.
students. And the girls actually would write questions and ask Miss White. They met with Miss
Wow.
White once a month. Miss White thought it would be a great idea to have a coming out party for the young girls. So we had a grand opening gala in
Oh,
December
nice. Very nice.
at the Newark Public Library.
Right.
And all the girls were presented to the community in white dresses.
Wow.
So it was a great way
Yes.
to show like these are our young girls. Let's give them a voice to
Right.
be heard. For Black History, the snow was really bad
I
this
know
year.
it was.
But one thing I thought would resonate with them, and it did, I showed them, I had an article on the 4 little black girls
Mm-hmm.
because they were in the age group
Yes.
of these young girls, and they have older siblings around the age. And they had never heard of it.
Right.
But you think about it, they're young, so they wouldn't hear about it
Exactly.
right now. So they read the article, we picked out different words that they might have known, and then I showed them the documentary by Spike Lee.
Right. Okay. Everybody likes to win.
So today, after your social etiquette class, our girls are going to DC. Thanks to Tiffany Aliche, the Budgetista.
Budgetista, love her.
She started a Facebook group to help our school. And we told her we were trying to go to DC. We really didn't. Well, we had no funding. I'm just going to put it out.
Right,
We had no
right.
funding. And she said, well, we're going to get that money for you to go. And she did.
I think in a matter of weeks. Wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was very close. It was.
I was
It
like,
was
is
like
it 2-3 weeks? I
right,
was like,
2
oh
or
my
3
gosh.
weeks. We raised that money. So the trip is next week. So
Yes.
today I gave out the permission slip.
Nice.
So the girls are excited. It'll be an overnight trip. We will be touring the MLK Memorial, the Lincoln and Jefferson Memorial. Some of our girls have never been to the zoo. I don't even
Right.
think Newark
Wow.
has a zoo.
Right.
So they're going to the National Zoo. We'll be taking them to dinner. The next day we'll be touring Howard University and eating lunch on the campus and returning Friday evening. So that's what we want to be about, to expose our young girls to, life outside of Newark. It's okay to leave, and it's great to come back and give something to offer.
So today we're going to do social etiquette and dining skills so that you can be more confident no matter what your situation, no matter where you go, whether it's eating at home or eating in a restaurant. That's what it's all about, being confident. So everyone, I would like you to stand up. So we're going to repeat after me our anthem. So the anthem is called I Am Beautiful, I Love Me. Okay? So repeat after me. I am beautiful and I love me.
I am beautiful and I love me.
Love me for who I am.
Love me for who I am.
I am beautiful and I love me.
I am beautiful and I love me.
No matter where I was born.
No matter where I was born.
Love me for who I am.
For who I am.
No matter what size I am.
No matter what size I am.
Love me for who I am.
Love me for who I am.
No matter what shade I am.
No matter what shade I am.
Love me for who I am.
Love me for who I am.
And say this with meaning. I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
And I love me.
And I love me.
Love me for who I am.
Love me for who I am.
Let's give ourselves a clap. So, who can tell me the importance of that anthem?
Don't care what people say, be yourself and love.
Exactly.
Give yourself high self-esteem.
Yes. Love yourself. And more specifically did it for the bullying because we know people bully us for all of these reasons that I said, right? If you're born somewhere else, if you're not from this country, they bully you. People are always bullying you for so many reasons, and so this is why I came up with this, because I want you to build your self-esteem. I want you to love yourself, and no matter what anybody says, you love yourself. That's where it starts. If you don't love yourself, one second, I'll come to you. If you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love you? So it starts with you getting up every morning, looking at yourself in the mirror, and it's not about being vain. It's not what this means. This is just about you. You have to love yourself to start. When you love yourself, you're not going to allow anyone to talk to you a certain way. You're not going to allow anyone to treat you a certain way. And you start from now, having that self-esteem, having that confidence, knowing that you can conquer and do anything that you want to do. So the two particular areas that I really stress is eye contact. When you're speaking to someone, it is crucial to look at them in their eyes. But you really don't want to have your head down. You don't want to be looking up, looking this way and that way. One, it's not good manners. It's telling that person that you don't care. So when you're looking at someone in the eyes, letting them know that you care. Even if you're not interested in the topic, it's at least giving them and showing them that you're respecting them. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is listening skills. Listening skills is crucial. If you don't listen, you can't learn. That's the first thing. So if you don't listen to mom at home, you don't listen to your teachers here, how can you be better? So you have to listen when that person is talking to you. You don't want to be texting someone when someone is talking. And a good way to know what that person was saying, you can kind of repeat what they've said. That way you know for sure that that person understood. But sometimes you're speaking with someone and you know what you want to say in your mind, but it doesn't always come out that clear. So if you repeat what that person says, you'll know for sure. So I'm going to kind of show you like posture. You should always have a good posture when you're sitting or when you're standing and speaking to someone. It's really important. Also, the way your face looks. When you're speaking to someone, you don't want to look like you're upset or you're mad. You know, it really makes a difference as well. So if I was talking to you like this, walking around, what would you think? You know, right. like, or I'm not smiling, like, I gotta talk about all these things, so I wanna go home, you know? So you wanna just stand up straight always, or sit up straight when you're talking, right? And then if you're sitting at a table, you don't wanna be like this, because that's making them think, oh, this person is boring. Never cross your hands when you're speaking, whether you're sitting or standing, because it looks defensive, like, you know, like you want to fight somebody, or like, you know, you think that you're better than someone. So you don't want to do this when you're speaking, standing or sitting. Okay. So those are some of the things that we're going to practice with it. But we're going to do some introductions. We're going to have you girls, you know, turn around, whether it's 2 or 3 of you, and I want you to ask each other questions. You want to ask a question that's open, that's going to give you a lot more details. Okay. So what I want you girls to do right now is to write down, and you can do it on the back of the papers. Ask each other maybe 3 or 4 questions tops, and when you're finished, the other person asks, you know, questions as well. And then I'm going to have you girls actually stand in front of the room and introduce that other person. Okay? Yeah, just write it on the back of this one. Okay. Wait. Okay. Go to a job for a fashion model, you're going to dress a little different. But, and maybe a musician, you might dress a little different. But the basic job, I don't care if it's from McDonald's to being a lawyer or a secretary, I always like to say, wear a suit. Even for the McDonald's job. And people always say, for McDonald's, because again, first impressions, everyone might not have money for a suit. So I say, 1, if you can borrow something from family members, then borrow it. If you can't, that's fine. But just try to put on, whether it's a nice pair of slacks, you don't want to wear jeans, you want to make sure that you wear a nice blouse, you want to wear things that are not too colorful. You want to have like just, you know, maybe like natural colors, like a blues, beiges, those type of colors. You know? Now when it comes to dressing for success, if you're going for a job interview, you don't want to wear big dangling earrings. That's a big no-no. Again, unless you're going for a modeling job or something, you don't want to have on big earrings like these. These are not appropriate. First of all, they're distracting because they're moving. So if you're sitting there talking to to the employer, this is going to be loud and moving and just, something like this. It doesn't have to be pearls, but something like this. Little studs are appropriate. You don't want to wear big hoops. Okay? Small earrings. Not too many. You don't want to have bright color nail polish either. You don't want to have bright, nothing too bright. You don't want to put on way too much makeup. You don't want to put on even perfume that's like, sometimes you put on perfume and it's so strong and you can really, it's just too strong. Have you ever been in a room with someone with perfume that's way too strong? So you want to be mindful of those things when you're going on an interview. Okay? Because all that is distracting. I'll be sitting there interviewing, all I can think of, oh my God, the smell, I can't breathe. So you don't want to do anything that's going to make someone distracted instead of concentrating what you're saying.
If you're the employer though, how would you know? Because some people, they be faking it like, yeah, I'm this and that. But then, there be some people, then when you get the job, then you be, then you would just be sitting there filing your nails. Somebody be like, hello.
Yeah, no, it's true. That does happen. You do have people that fake it till they make it, you know. But the one thing I would like to tell you, girls, that's very important. Before you go on a job interview, you have to be prepared. One, you're going to have your resume. And when you're doing your resume, some important things to know, write down things that you like. That way you can kind of get a job that you are interested in. Because ultimately in life, you want to be happy. Yes, sometimes money motivates us. Sometimes it's other things. There's some people that just love maybe working with kids, but they don't make as much money, or whatever it is. Try to do something that you love. Why would I give you the job if you don't even come in there knowing something about me? Like, you should know something about the company. Say, oh, well, I know that, you know, this person is in charge, or I know that you guys made this kind of money, or you know maybe this is the kind of project that they're doing in the community. Know something about the company. You can also call. If there's a certain department that you want to work in, call. Find out who the secretary is. Sometimes secretaries are going to give you certain information. The more you know, is the better it is. Because today, it's not just people your age, it's a lot of people even my age that are looking for jobs. So there's a lot of competition among so many people now. So you want to be as sharp and as bright and as confident as possible. So now if you do your homework for the research, you're dressing appropriately, you practice all your presentational skills at all times, every opportunity. How many of you want to be successful in here? Now, what is success to some of you? 5 people. What is success to you? Wonderful. I love that you said be proud of what you do. That's awesome.
Reach your goal.
Reach your goal. Be respectful.
To go for what you want to do.
Right, okay. Right. It's not all about money. I mean, I worked for IBM for what, 8 years. I was a project manager, IT specialist. I made a lot of money. But I work for myself now. I'm not making as much as I used to, but I love what I do. Like I said, I love bringing people together so they can celebrate each other. You know, quality of life is so important. So I love to do these workshops so I can help the youth. You are the future. And so I'm so ecstatic that, again, Tiffany Budgetnista brought us together to join the sisterhood so that our little sisters can be happy and successful in life. Okay? So what I want to do now is we're going to talk about some table manners. And you ladies, when you go to DC, you can do your thing down there. You're going to bond. You have to bond with your parents, with your siblings, so that we can have a strong family. The family foundation today is so weakened from online media, from, you know, working 2-3 jobs, and the parents don't have enough time to stay with their children. So dinner time is important. So if you have to go home and say, hey, Mom, Dad, let's eat together, you guys start doing that. Because I'm sure they'll listen to you. Okay? So when we at someone's house and we are going to sit down for dinner, we have to wait until everyone is seated. Wait until the host or hostess is seated. You don't want to start eating until that person has been seated. Okay? What's also important, when you get to the table, you want to sit up straight. So let's all practice now, act like we're sitting at the table. Let's all sit up straight. Right? Always pull your chairs in. You don't want to pull it in too much, but you want to make sure that it's in enough so that you're not stretching too far. Now, when you're at a restaurant, it's very important to know, and I'm sure you all will probably go to a restaurant when you go to DC, whoever's going. You're going to have to wait until everyone gets their food. A lot of times people sit down, one person gets their food, but everyone else didn't, and they're eating. You should never eat until everyone in your group has had their food. Unless that one person says, don't worry, go for it, it's okay. I like to wait. Unless sometimes you might have some kind of health issue that you have to eat. But you really want to wait for everyone else to get their meals first, okay? What's also important when you're sitting up straight, there's no elbows on the table. We don't want to put our elbows on the table at all. Okay? So let's all pretend that we have napkins now. The napkin is the first thing that you do when you get to a restaurant and sit down. The first thing you do is take your napkin and you put it on your lap. Take your napkins up, hold them, and you're going to pat. We're going to pat our mouths. We're not going to wipe it, we're going to pat. So everybody pat. And some kids say, yeah, but sometimes it's sticky. How do we do it? I'm like, well, pat hard, guys. Like this. Right? Yeah, pat hard. Not that white. Don't wipe. Just pat. Pat. Okay? Okay. What is also important, when you're sitting at the table, if something is too far, you don't want to stretch to get it. Ask someone, can you please get it? And when they do pass it, say thank you. You want to say thank you. Everybody say thank you.
Thank you.
And always pass to the right. Which way do we pass?
To the right.
So if something is right to the left of someone, it has to go all the way around. Now there are some situations that you can't do it to the right. Because if you're sitting at a big banquet table and there's only, like that happened to me, and there's only 4 people at that banquet table that should have been maybe 10 or 12, there's nobody on the other side to pass it. So that's a little different situation. But normally it's always passing to the right. Okay? So how did you enjoy the workshop for the girls?
Well, I thought the workshop was very interesting. I thought it was very informative, and I'm sure that the girls were able to pick up a lot of special tips from it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they should.
Yes, and personally, I have 2 daughters that I raised, and I certainly emphasize the importance of good manners,
Right.
and how to be able to express yourself when you're at the dinner table and around people.
Yes.
And I thought it was very, very important that you did that, and you did such a great special job. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
today.
Yes, it was a pleasure as always working with the young ladies.
Good, thank
So happy I was able to come and help out.
Thank
and
you. I
anytime
know they
can
loved
come
it.
in, to do some other things, I'm definitely willing to come and do that.
They loved it.
Yeah.
I've never saw them so engaged.
Yes.
Like sometimes it's so great to be able to reach out to other people to give something that I didn't know how to do that.
Right.
So for you to come out and give your time, I'm truly appreciative. I know the girls liked it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need a break
Right.
out of testing and
Right, of
classwork.
course.
It's real life things.
Right.
I can't expect them to act the way if they've never been
Right.
showed the right way to act.
Exactly. And then they
So-
ask a lot of questions, which was
Mhm.
great. Sometimes, kids, they just listen and they don't. But I like when they're very involved.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it even much nicer.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so thank you so much
Thank
and have
you.
a wonderful trip.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you.
All
And
right.
you guys can check us out on Facebook. We do have a Facebook
yes,
page.
I am a Facebook fan. Matter of fact, I think I did see that you guys went to either New York or to lunch or one of those I saw.
Yep.
Yes.
So we're on Facebook, Girls Academy of Newark. If you have a young lady who will be in grade 6, 7, or 8 next year that lives in Newark, she can apply through the One Newark enrollment process at 2 Cedar Street, and we're currently enrolling now.
Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Until next time, thank you.